You think you are the leader.
Okay.
And you think you're the man. But there are also times where I lead you.
All I'm saying is I don't care what the titles are.
Yeah.
But I do know if you and I are laying in bed and something goes bump in the night, there's only one of us that already knows they're getting up. That's the leader.
I'm in the big leagues, told her don't miss me. Ballin' like Houston, ayy, feeling like Whitney. Yeah, I need a bag, bruh, send it through quickly. I'm making his dog, like I'm in the big leagues.
Welcome to another episode of the Married Game Podcast. We are the voice you trust when it comes to lust, and we are who you hire when she has a flat tire.
Ooh.
No, when she lacks desire. Jessie Joy, here we are. You look incredible today.
Thank you.
Does it feel good to look that incredible?
Yeah.
All right. Well, ask me. I'll tell you.
So anyways.
Anyhow, today is going to be a very special edition of the show for one reason. Every edition is very special, but this one we're going to turn the tables a little bit. We've been talking about some different dials. I want to talk a little bit about the partner dial today. And our goal every time on this show is obviously to entertain a little bit, to educate a lot, and to just have a good time for you and I to get our stuff out in the air.
Yep.
We've done an episode of what we hate about each other. Now we're going to do an episode about what I love about you.
Ooh,
you don't have to tell me what you love about me, but I'm going to tell you what I love about you. And it has come to my attention that you are the greatest lady ever. No. That might be true, but it has not just recently come to my attention. You know, you over the years have endured a lot, and you've been really patient. And in the process of that, you've left clues, and you are pretty open about conversing and saying, hey, this is what I like and this is what I don't like, right?
Right.
Which has given me the ability to go, oh yeah, that makes sense. It like helps me see it from your perspective. And so I'm hoping today, not only just to gush a lot of appreciation on you and how grateful I am for how you show up as a mom, as you show up for a wife, as you show up even to this, like you're always here, you're ready to go. If I'm farting around at all, you're like, hey man, let's get going. We're ready to rock and roll. We got everybody, all the cameras rolling. Everybody's happy. Yep. Everybody's excited. So you do that, but yet you also have a lot of patience, and it doesn't come across that way all the time. So you're probably a little shocked that I'm telling you I think you have a lot of patience.
I'm shy about this whole thing.
But you do have a lot of patience, because once I finally understand from your perspective, I go, oh shit.
Yeah.
Let me make sure I got this right. Mm-hmm. Is this how you're viewing it? And you're like, yeah. And then what do you always say? Freaking finally.
Freaking finally.
But it becomes
then you
more
turn
clear.
it into an amazing framework. But let's not talk about you.
No, we're talking about you.
Me only.
So these clues you leave. Dude, you even jumped into one of our coaching calls, and I was finishing up another meeting, and you're like, I said, hey, figure it out. And you just jumped on, you figured it out. There's this spirit of adventure about you that I don't typically see in a lot of wives, but I've seen it in a lot of women. And I don't know if it's because when women get married, they lose that spirit of adventure. A lot of women sometimes lose themselves in their man.
Yeah. Kids.
You won't do that. Your spirit,
I have done
that. You have done that, but you won't do that ever
I won't do that
again.
now.
Was there a point in time where you just woke up and you're like, damn, I've lost myself to this guy right now. I've lost myself in this relationship.
Yeah, that was around the time where I knew I had to leave you.
Okay. Because
I said, I don't like who I am, but I definitely don't like our relationship and the life I'm living.
Got it. Mm-hmm. But you got really, okay, so once you left, then we came back. I didn't really hear you saying I needed to change before you left, and It was actually the you leaving, that action that caused the attraction in me to go, wait, hold on, wait. Oh, clearly I've mistaken some things.
Yep.
But now you don't let it get that far. You'll say stuff earlier on. Why do you feel so free to speak your mind in our relationship?
I just think I have to say, so it doesn't get back to that, because if so, I'm leaving. Just matter of fact. I just know my worth, I guess.
You won't settle for anything lower than that standard.
I will not.
Got it. All right, that makes a lot of sense. When it comes to you leaving clues, now sometimes if I'm like just kind of being just a dude, I don't like your clues. You can shove your clues up your ass. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when we sit down and really talk about it, you seem to be able to articulate things like, hey, man, this doesn't make me feel like a priority. Well, when a guy hears that, he goes, oh, well, shit. As opposed to just nagging or just complaining about shit. And I've watched you get better and better at this. Which is why I really want to praise you for it, because you got to reward dogs with behavior. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm totally kidding.
This bitch won't take that.
This bitch. No, it's, well, we all have to be rewarded. We all like to be rewarded by good behavior, because we know you have to know you're doing the right thing, and then to be like literally praised for it is not necessarily like, oh, wait, praise me. It's like, wow, you recognized.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like I'm doing today, is like recognizing, shit, dude, you put up with a lot of my craziness. You know, like I know I get ADD and I'm like, hey, I'm doing this. Or I'm like, all right, scratch that. We're doing this. This is a bit better. And there's sometimes you put up a little bit of a fight, but oftentimes you're just like, hey, I get it. I feel understood in a lot of sometimes my chaos by you.
I think if you show me the way and why you're choosing some crazy, I'm like, well, you're not wrong, or that sounds right. And now I have faith and trust in you that will end up fine. So let's test out that crazy.
Okay, so the partner, so as you show up for a partner, you've been able to leave clues, and it's not even clues, because there's guys that sometimes watch us and they think, they think we're crazy, which is fine, but it's not clues in the sense of like clues to show me how to be a man. I'm looking for and listening for, and you're dropping and giving me clues to how you feel loved.
Give me an example.
Difference. What's that?
Like, give me an example.
Well, if I just watch your reaction when I get you a gift.
Yeah. Like, not talking at Christmas or whatever, even though those are cute reactions, but like if I'm thoughtful about something, I can see you light up. Mm-hmm. And like when the other day you brought me my green drink to my bed, to my room. Just because I know you love it. Yeah. Yay. Like that. Those types of things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So better example than I gave. Well done. Wow, you're really I own this shit now. You're a fucking podcaster. Look at you. I got it. Isn't it weird to think that people consider us podcasters? Yes. It's weird that people sit here and listen to us. To me, how I feel. But they're literally just listening to me speak. That's crazy to me. Do you know why? I got some wisdom. Okay, but you have something else that they want. Power. Nope. What? Because this show isn't powerful if people don't listen. Like if they don't go do the power thing. Within our relationship, I was meaning. Oh, got it. No. I don't know. I see what you're saying. No, it's not that. As a human. No, you have the fruit of what they want. Mm-hmm. The only reason why anybody listens to this fucking podcast and likes our clips and reposts it and shares it and everything, is only one reason. They go, well, they have what I want. Yeah. So I'm going to do that. So, because they're already not, like, people know what they have and what they don't have. Like right now, people are listening to our words or watching our video, and they're saying to themselves either they don't have something I want, so they will not listen, or they'll go, maybe they have a map to where I want to go. But it's really rare to see true relationships of people that really, really genuinely like each other. Definitely. And that's one of the things, like I was just telling somebody today, people could steal all of our quote unquote content, but they could never be us. Yeah. And that is what the world needs more of, is people authentically being themselves. And it's like, we were talking about it earlier, and you know how we were talking about how people like different styles of music. There's music, and then there's different styles of music. I don't know why people don't understand that that's the same way about people, and it's the same way about relationships. Mm-hmm. Okay? Like some people are, they literally base their, she's like almost sleeping. That is so cute. Oh my God, my dog is so cute. You can see her face too. Are you good on there? Oh, just good. I hope they zoom in on her a lot. But in the beginning, people get gravitated towards each other because they like being around each other. They go, wow, I really like you. I like that you're giving me your attention. I like that you're giving me your affection. It makes me feel better about me, which is an interesting thing about relationships. But yet, most relationships get to the point where they can't stand each other. So like, I don't even want to live with this motherfucker anymore. And so they're out.
the process of going from liking each other to disliking each other and divorcing is very, very common. And even people that are married still talk about how honeymoon, it's not the honeymoon. Like as if that's a standard that is accepted across the board. And then a couple of people stamp up. And we're not the only ones. We're not the only people that have ever taught about relationships. But there's a couple of people that step up and go, this is what our relationship looks like. We want to shine a light on it for you to maybe reset the standard. How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, like in terms of realizing that a lot of people are just watching just because they go, I've never seen a relationship like this that actually like works and makes people happy.
I haven't seen any at all myself.
So when you're going through this and you're trying to leave clues to keep people happy, to make yourself happy, to make us happy, to not feel like shit, because usually you'll tell me, hey, if you do this, it doesn't make me feel very good. Like, why would you want to do these things that don't make me feel very good?
Yeah.
What is your typical thought and approach to that? Because when you and I have a conversation, I get this from people watching this all the time. They're like, I literally, when I watch you guys disagree or I just watch you guys work through things, I'm wanting to talk to my wife like that, but I don't feel like I can.
You got to take out the emotion and you got to ask questions. So when you do something I don't like, I sit back and think about it. I'm like, I did not like that. Why? Then I come to you. I'm like, you said something like this. Why would you say it like that? And it made me feel like this. So, and you're like, wow, I didn't want to make you feel like that. It's just asking questions, basically.
So the nagging, freaking out, going crazy as soon as you hear it is not the approach that you're telling people.
No, and we're not perfect, but I feel like more and more I hear you do something, I think about it and I'm like, why did you do that? It made this person feel like that, or it made me feel like that. And so I explained to you the feeling behind that I got from you doing that. I feel like that makes you understand.
How do you feel knowing you have to tell me those things? You don't have to, obviously. You can stay silent.
We're human. We're living together.
Yeah, for sure. But like
sometimes I won't say something, and it's when we're good that I let the little things go, or crumbs, or a little annoyance. But when we're not in a good spot, you're looking at my hand.
Yeah, you're talking with your hands.
When we're not in a good spot, I notice myself nitpicking you more.
Just because is it because you want attention, or you want a change of action?
That behavior. I want a change of that behavior.
Because that behavior makes you feel what? Not like a priority, not heard, not
just
felt.
Depends on what it is. But I just notice when you're not focused, and I'm nitpicking, it means we're not in a good little headspace, and we got to get there and talk about whatever the issue is. Okay,
that reminds me of something I was working through this morning. And back to the music thing, I was wanting to get at. So the music, like there's music and then there's a lot of genres of it. There's relationship and there's a lot of different ways to play it.
Yeah.
I think you and I are playing a song that there are people resonating with. Like how many people keep watching this podcast and it keeps growing. The amount of guys that keep piling into our coaching program, and even people saying, hey man, when are you guys going to do an actual retreat for couples? Like, I'm not in the pit, but my wife and I would like to hear you two talk about X, Y, or Z, or walk us through your thought process, which I think is a lot of fun that we're doing that on these podcasts now. Mm-hmm. But under the genre of relationship, there's a lot of ways it can look. Yeah. And we like our song. When we sing in harmony, that's what we're doing. Yeah. It's our song together. And some people may not like it, and some people may like it. Well, what's interesting is you and I, we went down to Arizona and spoke at John and Nineveh Madson's and William Lamb's thing. That was so fun. It was extremely fun. You and I had a lot of fun. It was a more comedic version of my communication. It was good. Thank you very much. Very good. And you were actually funny that time. Yeah, I'm stepping into it. But you know what I noticed was when we went out, we went on a Saturday night. And we were at it was like a Mastro's or some sort of like a steakhouse like that, I think. And I don't even remember what it was called. Do you? That was Fleming's. Friday. It was Fleming's. Friday night, Fleming's. We go to Fleming's. We're hanging out, and we laughed so hard all night. Yeah. And then we went back to the next day. We were actually... I was bullying you. Yeah, you were. It was fun. And then the next night we go to a club, and we fucking
like bottle
raged.
service club.
Yeah, raged. It was
fun.
so damn fun. But the funnest part of it was the guys that were there with their wives. Their wives were having a great time with them. They're like, I'm joining this married game thing. If this is the peak, we want to chase that.
I want that.
Again, it's back to that thing where people are watching and saying, show us a good example of what it actually looks like to have people that really fucking like each other.
I just want to say I'm getting paid to do exactly what I want to do and be me.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy about that.
It's so rare for people to see it. Mm-hmm. But like everything, like when people go like, well, how do you do this? I go, well, I think I actually learned that from Jesse. And it was in an environment where, like, even for the player dial, I'm like, hey, there's a strategy to taking your wife out and letting her relive those moments of when she met you at the very beginning. Yeah. You know, the flirting, all that type of fun stuff. So, okay, we've got the different types of relationships. We've got you leaving clues for people. We've got this incredible good time we went to in Arizona where people watched us dance and we did our thing. But you're telling me when you approach me in our relationship, do you feel like sometimes, shit, I got to talk to him about this again?
Absolutely.
Okay, and how does that feel?
Someone once told, I know, why are you asking me these weird questions? Someone once told me.
They're a good one though, don't you think? I mean, it's good. It's a good question.
A good friend of ours told me that I'm just going to put it to our relationship. You are going to have some things that I have to remind you. And if I'm okay with those certain things, I get all the other you, then continue this relationship. Mm-hmm. And so I thought about it, and there are things that I have to repeat to tell you. In the moment, though, I'm really frustrated. And when we're talking about it, I'm like, I told you, why am I doing this again? So, but I stay because I know I will have to remind you of those certain things. It's just your blind spot area.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You're just like, okay, I'm just going to, if I'm going to be with this guy, I'm just going to put up with this
certain thing that I got to keep reminding him.
Is there anything that you have to put up with and I'm getting any better at?
It's farther time that I have to remind you in between. Oh, I noticed that.
It really like, hey, that
it took longer for me to remind you.
That doesn't take me. So
instead of the constant reminding you.
Hey,
is way better.
Like, hey, I don't feel very loved when you do this. That type of thing. Mm-hmm. Got it. Is there ever anything that you think you're going to share me? I'm like, that's some bullshit. You're wrong. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Do you remember the last time that was?
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Let's talk about that.
You think that I have a different opinion and different approach.
Okay.
It's not that I disagree completely.
Okay.
You think you are the leader.
Okay.
And you think you're the man. Not that I have to follow, but I will follow. That there has to be a leader. And probably I just feel not so strongly, and I feel differently about that I think that we're both the leader. Mm-hmm. And I think in our relationship there are times where you lead me, but there are also times where I lead you. And we flow together like this. And I'm the mom and you're the dad, and it takes a mom and a dad to create. So there is no me without you. There is no you without me. Together we flow and we get better. So I don't feel like there needs to be a name.
Like
but I do think
like leaders.
Exactly.
You have a problem with the title.
Like I'm the leader. Like you.
Okay. Well, tell me what areas.
Doesn't need to be any of that.
Okay, so the calling out of the leadership is something that kind of irks you a little bit. All right.
Yeah.
But you don't have a problem with the principle. You just don't like. It doesn't sound good on your ears.
Well, some of the principle.
Okay.
And I agree.
Where do you lead me, by the way?
At home.
What does that mean?
Children. I do most of that work.
Yeah, but that's not leading me.
It's leading you in the dad area.
What is it? Tell me more.
So I feel like I help you and have helped you our whole relationship. I was just saying yesterday, our whole relationship started off with kids. And there's a time weekends and weeks we didn't have kids, but you had kids, so instantly we had kids. And I feel like I led you and still continue in that area of fathering, which is our next generation of people. So
how would you say
I'm a leader?
Okay, I love it. How would you say you led me? It sounded like you gave me supplemental help in my role as a father, but maybe
no. That's you giving that.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah,
but I'd like to hear what you have to say about this.
okay, take the initiative is leading, right?
Okay.
I take the initiative with the kids.
Okay.
You take the initiative in a more work and making money. But now I work with you, and you're a good dad, and we flow together.
Got it.
To sum all that up.
Okay, so what you're not trying to say, you said it how you said it.
It might have been not that clear, but
no, it's clear. It's you don't like this. There's this vibe about you that says, I don't like this head of the household, whatever he says goes mentality.
I have never ever liked that.
No, you don't like that.
No.
Okay, but you also would agree, hey man, if someone comes in downstairs, Keith, you're going to get up and go fucking handle it, right?
And if you're out of the house traveling, I'll fucking handle it.
For sure. But I'm saying
that's what I'm saying. Is just,
I get it. Okay, so
that's what I'm saying.
Okay, so in that situation, here's my definition of a leader. The definition of a leader is the fucking best person to handle the job at the moment, at the time. Regardless of gender. I don't give a shit about that.
And that might be
what you're trying to say.
I'm the parenting role, so yeah. I'm the best person to handle it at the best time with that, I guess.
You're the best chance of her getting a mom.
Yeah.
You're not the best dad to her.
No.
Because you're not supposed to be.
Right.
But, all right, I like this because there's a lot of, our day and age, like traditional values, traditional roles, whatever. All I'm saying is I don't care what the titles are.
Yeah.
But I do know if you and I are laying in bed and something goes bump in the night, there's only one of us that already knows they're getting up. That's the leader.
You need that, don't you?
Nope. I'm just saying who leads into the battle in those situations.
I see what you're saying. No, that's why I said I don't disagree.
You don't
fully,
disagree.
But
you don't like the abuse of where the other way has gone to where it's like, you shut the fuck up, you do what I say, get in the kitchen. Why aren't you barefoot and pregnant? You know, that we don't like that, and I don't like that either.
No,
frankly,
you don't act like that at all.
No,
it's just when we're having this conversation, but our flow at home and work and everything is, I like to be in my feminine, as everyone says now, and myself, and free and creative and excited, and I don't want all those manly things to dumb all that down.
Okay.
And that's where you come in, and that's why we are so good together.
Yeah. It's such a good conversation because a lot of people are wondering, you know, like what are the roles and what is this and what is that? I always say whatever fucking makes you happy. Like,
definitely.
Like there is no, well, where's the rule book? I don't know where the rule book is. Nobody's written one.
Right.
But I mean, there's a bunch of people that have written them, and there's people that follow them and create religions around them. But is what makes you both happy. Like where are you guys feel in flow?
Yeah.
And where do you feel most appreciated? Where do you feel most joy? I like the term leader for one reason. It's, I define leadership a little differently as well. And I define leadership as influence. Influence. If I'm a good leader, I'm going to influence you to become the best version of you.
And vice versa.
I think
we've nailed it. We're both the leader.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I just love pushing. Boop, 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 those
what
buttons.
I like, though, is that here's the other thing is a lot of times the leader is the most valuable person in the room.
Thank you.
But
you're so sweet.
What's the most valuable thing you could ever give to anybody? Do you know?
Love, time, attention.
Not a Beatles song. No, it's a high standard. The most valuable thing you can ever give somebody is a high standard for them to aspire to live up to, because then that creates the best version of them. It's like why a lot of football coaches are total fucking dickheads. Like they're just hard asses. They're not dickheads in the sense that they're dicks. They go, all right, I've got to produce this at the end of this, and if I don't push this guy through some hard shit, he's not going to become tough enough to be able to become the guy that he actually wants. And
that's so great for a man and a dad.
Yeah. Well, but you hold an incredibly high standard for me.
Absolutely. But then I come in with a little bit of nurturing, baby, mother. That's why I love the traditional thing we have here.
Yeah.
The more traditional. I mean, Not in all sense, but I just like what we got going on. It's working for us.
Well, it is, but and again, one of your goals when we started this was so cool. When you're like, you said, I want to be the example that people could look to and go, I'd like a relationship like that. Mm-hmm. They don't have. The interesting thing is, what you and I have and what we're displaying is an energy. It's not even a theology or a dogmatism or even a, hey, you have to agree with all these things. It's the energy is, I want you to be the most spoiled lady on planet Earth, meaning I want you to feel so loved by me, which granted, I don't always do that great of a job at because it's not something that naturally comes to my mind. What naturally comes to my mind is creating shit that other people like and selling it to them and making them happy as fuck because they bought it and then it changed their life. That's what literally consumes my thoughts all the time. I've had to train myself to go, wait a second, you got somebody in the fucking cockpit with you called Jessie who also wants to experience life in a way that makes her feel radically fulfilled. Mm-hmm. Well, what the fuck does that look like? So in that regard, you and I have just abandoned all fucking you're only created to serve me and only created to help be my helpmate, when in reality, I feel like we have a co-vision together of the life we want to create, and there's going to be times where I will, in some ways, your spirit will, you will edify me and keep me going. If it's just for the fact of I know I'm doing this for us and that maybe the fucking yoke is more on my shoulders at that moment. But you will inspire me. Yep. Which is influence on me, which is leadership.
Thank you.
I get it. I know. I'm walking people through how I think it, because what it does is it creates this co-creation between you and I. Mm-hmm. And when you're co-creating something, people support what they help create, right? Mm-hmm. So it's my whole lesson on how to become a great communicator with a group of small or big people is fucking make them a part of the creation of it.
Same with the kids too, bringing them along.
Bringing the kids along. Hey, Jovi, come check this out. Dude, there's days where I'll tell Jovi, here's how much money I made. Yeah. Hey, I bought this watch for this guy. Here's how much I paid for it.
She's like, oh, cool. Anyways, my iPad. Da-da-da.
Yeah, but I just want her to know.
Yeah, I think she likes it though.
I want her to know, hey, I don't want you to be a dum-dum. I want you to really understand what's going on so that you understand what's going on. So, again, it's kind of a little bit of that vision being fulfilled by you saying, I want to be an example, because we didn't have anybody to look to that wasn't 50 frumpy and unfuckable.
Still don't know.
You know what people would consider us as relationship coaches is kind of what we do.
I'm just myself. I'm just being me.
But that doesn't feel like a title that fits, does it?
No.
It doesn't. It doesn't to me either. Because people
if someone asked me what I did, I don't know what I would say.
I teach guys how to get their wives to want to have sex with them again.
I help relationships, I guess, as a coach, but...
Yeah. No, we teach dudes how to fucking get laid. Yeah. In their marriage. That's why it's so fun. It's edgy, but not too edgy. It's a vibe. People. It's a vibe. What do you think of Valentine? You're going to protect the castle? What? You don't know nothing? That's a great dog. I think there's one more thing I want to talk about today, and I think we'll kick it off for the next episode, and it's this. A lot of guys that come through married game have to understand that there's a point in time where they need to let their wife go, in their heart. Now, I'm not saying they're going to get a divorce or anything like that, but they've got to stop living for her approval on everything.
We should definitely do the next one on that, because that's a big can of worms.
Okay, but I want to share with them something that I see that is a timeline piece that people don't understand, is the timeline of this. And by not understanding the timeline, it would be like this: if a caterpillar spun a cocoon and you thought that was its coffin, you would toss it. But if you realize that that's the incubator for it to become its next thing, you would leave it alone.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
That was good.
Thank you.
I was totally picturing the whole thing.
Yeah. And if a man understands, wait a second, I'm going into this deep, dark tunnel. This isn't my grave. This is me. This is my cocoon to birth me into a butterfly.
It's my direction.
But if they understand this timeline, and here's the timeline, and here's the gate. I'm going to set it up with one thing, and then I'm going to close it with the other thing. This will take about 2 minutes, but I promise you this will be really opening of the mind. And it's this. Men come to Married Game, they listen to this podcast because they don't feel like their wife really wants them, truly of her own volition wants them. And a lot of times they are married, so they are legally and binding by church, state, and fucking whoever else. They're bound to love one another, but there is no feeling of love. They in fact don't want to be with each other. That soulmate has turned to the roommate. And the guy desperately wants her to want, oh, man, I look at the way that Jesse looks at Keith. I want that. I want that. I want that. I go, okay, cool. I'm going to show you how to get it. But there's a timeline piece you got to understand. One thing has to happen. One thing has to happen for the woman to reignite a flame back into the guy. And she has to realize that he has become this new version of him on his own for himself. And he actually does not even care if she notices, likes him, or wants him anymore.
True.
The only way to get there, oftentimes, is for the woman to leave, because she has to scratch that itch in the sense of saying, hey, this guy's showing up like a total fucking douchebag, and if I won't settle for this the rest of my life. So a lot of guys are clinging, don't let her leave, don't let her leave, don't let her leave, and we just had a situation where we go, no, let her go. Right now, she feels obligated to like you, which is what you don't want. When you let her go out the gate, have other options, you become the best version of you. Then she looks back and goes, wait a second, the one thing she has to go through is, I'm not forced to love this guy. I'm choosing to love this guy. Mm-hmm. It's that ability to let go is the only way that woman gets a choice. And it doesn't have to be through divorce. She doesn't have to leave. It's an energy thing where a guy goes, well, fuck, I don't even care if she likes me anymore or not. Like, I want her to like me.
Yeah.
But
I like me.
But I like me.
Right.
And so when I tell guys, I'm going to help you get your wife back or you're not going to want her, a lot of people think that I teach guys how to not want their wives anymore. That's not what I say. I don't want you to hold your wife and her opinion of you above your opinion of you. And your opinion of you is pretty low right now. That's why she has a very low opinion of you.
Yep.
And a lot of these guys, when they come to and take our scores, are like, I got a 50 out of 100, Keith. I go, so you're an F partner. They go, yeah, but she isn't reacting. I go, she's not reacting to an A version of you. She's reacting to an F version of you. Mm-hmm. Imagine what she would do if you were an A version of you. Then you become the A version of you. Then you get to actually assess the situation. Do I really want her? So two things take place simultaneously. You start to love you, and you stand up and have a high standard of who you are by letting her go, whether she likes you or not. That's her issue, not yours anymore. And that literally simultaneously kicks in this thing. It's like, wow, he doesn't need me. That might be the place I want to go. Mm-hmm. Pretty crazy, huh?
It's so dead on.
And
so dead on.
That cocoon is dark.
When someone was talking about him, I just felt everything that we have been through, and that's exactly what we went through.
Yeah, the timeline. The reason I share the timeline with you guys is simply this, is if your wife leaves or if she is radically disconnected, then that's okay. You can get that back. And the reason why she's denying you, and this is the framework I was working through this morning, and I want to get your take on this, and then we'll close up. Like, I'm gonna close it down, but then we'll open this all back up for the next episode. And guys get denied because they get distracted. They stop giving attention to their woman, so they get distracted. So a guy goes, I'm tired of getting denied sex. I'm tired of getting denied love. I'm tired of getting denied being wanted. And then you can go, well, let's take that denial started somewhere. Where was the seed of it? You got distracted. Mm-hmm. Therefore, you got disengaged. Mm-hmm. And then she grew disdain for you. You became doubtful of the situation, and you became a decreased version of you. And therefore, now she is denying you. Mm-hmm.
And it's a vicious circle.
It's the de-evolution of desire. Starts with distraction.
Frameworks.
That's it for today. I hope you guys tune in next week. We are going to break that framework down, and we're going to talk about what it really means, because if your wife feels like she has to love you but doesn't, that's not the desire you want anyway. You want her to desire you because she believes you are the best option for her in her life to get the life she wants and to feel the way she wants. Ultimately, Jessie wants to feel a certain way. She thinks I'm the best option to make her feel that way because, well, I am.
True stuff.
True stuff. I'm excited for our date tonight. I'm excited for our live event. I'm excited for our couple retreats. I'm excited for this.
Life.
I'm ecstatic about everything going on in our life right now. And I know the reason for the ecstasy is simple. Every single day I hear from somebody about just you and I being us and sharing what we know is changing their life. It's starting to get
That's
to like
so good.
It's starting to become like 2 or 3 times a day.
That's amazing.
It's incredible. If that's the case, please share this episode with a friend. Also, if you haven't got this book yet, it's called Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time. It is a shameless plug for him. He's one of my best friends, and I just found out that I was in the acknowledgments, so that's pretty cool. And I've already been promoting the shit out of this book because it's that good. I highly encourage you, if you're a man with a penis or a man without one, go read this. And if you're a woman without a penis or a woman with one, go buy this book. We love you all. Keep crushing it. That shit is contagious.
Bye-bye.